What up? Yeah, I had to start over. The live stream what could put on me, so I had to start over. I had to restart. Oh, yep. Restart. It started just spinning in circles. Most says you're spinning, so it was like restart time. No biggie there though. I don't mind restarting. Sometimes that goes though, because it did show low signal. So restart is what I needed to do. So here we are. Is that better, Mo? I restarted because you said we were just spinning. I appreciate it when you guys let me know when we're just spinning, because that lets me know that I need to restart the live stream. So anytime I start spinning, let me know, and then I'll restart the live stream. Big Joe Finn. I think that's how you say it. How you doing? We got 4 likes and 2 people in, 3 people in now. Woohoo! So, anywho, tomorrow I'm thinking we're going to do a Potski fireworms versus power bait challenge. Romo Fitness, what's going on? Let's go, Brucey, baby. Bite. Name's Bruce. Fish are food, not friends. Ah. It is a cold one for sure. All this ice and stuff out here. Woo-wee. Wind blowing right at my face too. Yep, Lucy and Brucey. Brucey and Lucy. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Ricky Ricardo. Wow, all 4 of your channels? Wow. You got 4 channels? Crazy. Well, thank you for subbing. I appreciate that. Bruce, you're going to tell Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Lucy and Brucey, I like that. To hype up your friends, huh? Nice. Come on, fishes. Show up. I don't mind fishing when it's cold, but I like to catch fish when it's cold out too. Woo-wee. The fish be arguing now. Yeah, let's go. Pull out a fish called Bruce, and then he'll be like, Lucy, I got hooked. What you got to say about that? Oh, shoot. Too much fun, you guys. Too much fun. Whoever thought it was a good idea to go fishing today was wrong. It's cold. Yeah, I didn't watch it a lot, but I watched it enough to know that I like the show. Once in a while, I'll meet somebody called Lucy, and I'll be like, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. They'll look at me and they're like, what? You've never seen Lucy? You've never seen I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo? What's wrong with you? I thought everybody knew who they were. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I know you've been leaving about this time of day, and then you go, and it'll be like, oh. I did hook a couple other fish yesterday, but unfortunately I kept breaking fish off yesterday, Stay Fishy. I just wasn't live when I was breaking them off. Oh, excuse me. Lucy would be down there being hooked, and then she's gonna be singing, I'm gonna get you drunk, get you love drunk off my fins, my lovely fish fins. Oh shoot, my bad, sorry. I had to go there, I guess. I had to. I don't know why, but I had to. Oh, my bad. Sorry, y'all. Thought it was funny too. Oh, my bad though. Anything to get a laugh, I guess. Anything to get a laugh. Oh, sorry. Breaking you guys' eardrums. Sorry about that, but it's fun. Smoking some gas. Well, I'm watching practice the live, buddy. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, and share. Sean, how's it going? Did you say was gonna do a cold plug for everyone on live stream before you end it? I don't know what a cold plug is. Don't know what that is. No, I ain't jumping in no cold water. Forget that. Forget that. I just jumped in the water a couple weeks ago for my buddy's fish. Nope, not jumping in. Sorry. You should have seen. You should have watched live during Stay Fishy's birthday tournament. Man, I ended up jumping in the water and saving my buddy's fish because it took off swimming with his stringer in his mouth. I'm like, no! Didn't even think about it. Jumped in and grabbed it. That was crazy. That was crazy. Cheers. Thanks for stopping in. But no, I generally try not to jump in water when it's this cold out. Unfortunately, I've been in this water in February. I have been in this river in January. Or this lake in January. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me jumping in the lake in January? What the heck? Oh, yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, I'm not always the brightest tool in the shed when it comes to fishing. I get excited and whoops. Thanks. Thanks. I figured you were joking, but nonetheless. But I have ask Dave Fishy, ask Mo. I'm sure Mo saw that, me jumping in the water to save my buddy's fish. Could be wrong though. That was not fun. I mean, it was fun that I saved the fish, but not fun because it was cold out. And then one February, we were out here kokanee fishing in my boat, and for whatever reason, I couldn't keep it running. So I'm like, so I jump in the water and I walk the bank and I walk it all the way back to the boat launch, so I could check out the motor to find out what was going on. And whoop! All right. So earlier in the live stream, the first live stream, Blue, we were asking people what the biggest fish they caught was. So what's your biggest fish, Blue? Yeah, I know. You were standing right there. That was crazy. Because we were walking over to there to show you his fish, and then next thing you know, his stringer goes off, and the fish goes with it. The stringer side, jump in the water, whoo, whoo, grab the stringer and pull the fish back. It was crazy, you guys. The things I do for my buddy's fish. The things I do. Now, if that's not a loyal buddy, I don't know what is. 39-inch steelhead. Wow, that's a beautiful fish. Sweet. Not everybody can be as dedicated to making sure that their friends go home with a fish like I am sometimes. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't even think. I just jumped in the water and went and got his fish. What was I thinking? I have no clue. I can't wait until it starts getting above freezing during the daytime. I'm telling you guys, I don't mind fishing when it's cold. I don't mind fishing when it's hot, but when it's too hot, it's not the funnest. And when it's too cold, it's not the funnest. And it might be too cold, but I'm still fishing. What's the biggest fish you ever caught? You got some explaining to do. Is right. What up, David? One time a friend had a large stringers springer salmon on the riverbank. He dropped it. It was jumping around, heading toward the river. He was trying to get a hold of it, but it was real slimy, and he kept. I'll tell you another crazy story, y'all. Another crazy story. It's usually fine no matter the temperature as long as you're warm enough and have some friends to do it with. Yeah, yeah. See, that's where you guys come in. You guys are my friends, and you guys are what's keeping me company. Keep me going. Duck soup, duck soup, duck soup, duck soup. Boom, 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 boom. Anywho, okay. So one year we were up on the Columbia River fishing for a sturgeon. Oh crap! Been fishing since I was a little kid. But that don't tell me how big the biggest fish you caught was. But anyhow, back to my story. One time when a few years ago we we had a homeless shelter at our church. So me and some buddies, we'd pay for guys homeless people's fishing licenses. We'd take them fishing and stuff, get them, you know, just to have a good time. You know, get them away from the shelter that the church was putting on for them and stuff like that. Oh, I love sturgeon fishing too. So we ended up having a couple that wanted to go, couple homeless folks that wanted to go sturgeon fishing with us. So we're like, all right. So we went and bought their day fishing license and all their tags and everything that they needed for a day. And so we took them out fishing, and so we took them out sturgeon fishing, and we thought, well, if we get to keep our sturgeon, we could feed the homeless shelter with the sturgeon. So we're out there, we're fishing, we're catching some fish. We got a keeper on the line, and we're fighting it. And so we get it close to the shore, and the guys are trying to grab the fish. Right. Next thing you know, one of them goes headfirst into the Columbia River in January, and it is cold out. And yeah, went flying headfirst into the drink. And this wasn't a homeless guy. This was a guy who was helping put on the fishing thing, helping us put on the fishing thing. And yeah, the plus side is we had a had a fire going. The plus side of it was we had a fire going. The negative side of it was he got really wet and cold, and the other plus side of it was we got to feed the homeless shelter with a keeper sturgeon, which was fun, which was cool. But still, somebody landed up in the drink that day. So that was something. Yep, cold days when you're fishing in January on the Columbia River. And when the winds blow on the Columbia River, oh, they can be something terrible too. Wind surfing capital of the world, they say. Definitely can be. Yeah, that is wild. So, and then I get to tell you about Bug's experience going in the drink here. Of course, I've probably said this story on the channel a couple times. We named one video story time with Bug, my daughter, my youngest daughter. So we were fishing here, and it was winter time, and my oldest daughter was in school, and I was working nights at the time. So me and my youngest daughter, we'd go fishing and stuff during the daytime because I was working nights. So me and the baby, we'd come out here, we'd go fishing and stuff like that, and that's what we'd do during the daytime. Well, our sister was at school, just to spend time together and stuff. And 5-foot sturgeon, nice. So anywho, we're out here and we're fishing, and my brother calls me, so I'm talking to my brother on the phone. And then the next thing I know, and it's cold out. I mean, it's really cold out. It's still winter time out, and of course we're dressed for the winter, because I wasn't going to bring a 2-year-old, 3-year-old out, and not have her dressed for the weather. She just liked to spend time with Dad and go fishing with him during the daytime. So, Alex, what's going on? Yeah, that was my first instinct, buddy. Was to save your fish. There's Alex. he's the one that I jumped in the water to save his fish for. I didn't think Alex was going to be joining us on this live stream. Thanks for joining us. Anywho, back to my story with Bug. Okay, so we were fishing over there off the dock. Back before you had to pay your $5 a day to park there. And so we come down, we were parked, and we were fishing, and my brother called me, and so I'm talking to my brother. Next thing you know, so I told my brother I had to go get off the phone. And so I grab her. I'm like, how'd you land up in the water? And she says, your big butt pushed me. I'm like, I didn't win. She says, your big butt pushed me in. I'm like, I did not push you in. So basically what happened was I did accidentally bump her in. I didn't push her in, but she still says I pushed her in. I don't think we weighed them. So, yeah, fishing, what's going on? So, yeah, those are all stories about people going in the water. 2 of them were here, and one of them was at the Columbia River. So I've been in this water when it was freezing butt cold 3 times here at Haystack. One because of my boat, one because of my buddy's fish. Oh, and the other one was my poor, sweet, beautiful Bug landed up in the water, which stinks that she landed up in the water, because a 2 or 3-year-old kid should not be in the water when it's that cold out. But I got her dried and got her warmed up and got her in the car and everything, and so we got her warmed up pretty quick. But still, just one of those things. You got a few stories about people going in the water? Yeah, I think we all got a story or two. You reeled it up and your dad was looking for it, huh? I ain't meanie. I didn't mean to push my daughter into. My butt did not mean to push my daughter into water. I'm not a meanie. What the heck? It was choking on. You reeled it that far up on your rod, huh? It was choking. It was choking on the rod. Wow, it's crazy. One time we were fishing the Columbia in the summer on my dad's friend's dollar boat, and we stopped in on a beach and tied up on the log. We then log just floated away. What? Wow. Trust. Hey, fat cat, what's going on, man? And your dad went swimming. Wow, crazy. He almost drowned. Wow, crazy. Crazy. So, but yeah, stories about the stack, And somebody's calling me a meanie, and I'm not even a meanie. Yeah, it's definitely cold. It's definitely cold for sure. Man, I'm glad everybody was all right from that trip, though. Having to swim after a boat. That's crazy. Yep, it's definitely cold, y'all. Definitely cold. I've got another hour to fish before I go home. I'm going to leave about 3, I think. I'm going to leave about 3. Sleet and rain there, huh? Wow. Not as funny as my story, huh? Well, anytime somebody goes in the water, it's you can laugh about it afterwards, but when it first happens, it's always, you know, not as it's just it happens. Yep, I definitely wouldn't want to go in that water today. For I don't care that I got these nice dry boots on, but I still wouldn't want to go in this water today. Oh wow, you almost lost a finger from your leader line and the reel. Wow, crazy. I know I've cut my hand a few times with the line for sure. Mo, I think you need to do a fish dance or a fish singing or a rhyme or something. These fish is going stuck in the guides. Wow, crazy. What were you doing? Putting your fingers in the guide? Crazy. Yeah, my goal is never to get hooked deep enough to where I have to go to the hospital either. For sure. You'll tell you a story about a deer and a rope, huh? Well, remember just a few days ago, I seen a deer jump in the river, jump in the water right there and swim across all the way to that side of the lake, which was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Well, David, let's get to fishing together real soon then. I want to hear your stories. You probably got plenty of them. I think we've all got plenty of stories. I've actually got a scar in one of my hands from a fish putting a hook in my hand and ripping it out, or in my finger. Yep, a deer and a rope. I know that sounds like it's going to be something. Here. Oh wow, yeah. You was watching that, huh? Yep, always got to be safe fishing. Yep. Yeah, that's true. 72 years of life, I would say you would have a couple of them, you know? For sure, for sure. Wow. Your hand was purple? Wow, crazy. Boy, oh boy, it's chilly, it's chilly. Well, we may not make it to 3 if it gets any colder. Woo-wee. Well, at least live stream for another 30 minutes because that'll give us a full hour of live streaming. We may not make it past that, though. Up some. Woo-wee. Chilly, chilly. What kind of fish was it, Mo? I don't think you said what kind of fish it was. One thing about this chest harness live streaming, every time I move, you guys see me move. Huge brown, nice. I've only ever caught in small browns. I've never caught any big browns. One of these days, I'm going to catch me a big brown. A big brown to me would be 15 inches. I've caught in several of them around 8 to 12 inches long, but to me, I'll call a 15-inch brown a big one. You drop the pole and hand line. I've had to hand line fishing though. If it wasn't against the law in Oregon, I would do it. But it is against the law in Oregon, so kind of one of those things. Got to go by the laws. One of my favorite pastimes growing up is hand lining for catfish and bass and bluegill and crap. It was always fun. Carp. Always fun. Yeah, when I come see you, Blue, we're gonna go chase a big brown. I think a big brown. I've seen some big browns. I've never caught any big ones. That was longer than 20 inches, huh? I've caught in big rainbows too. Just no big browns. David's probably caught in some big browns. Haven't you, David? I've caught in some decent dollies or bull trout, whatever you want to call them. Lasted for days, huh? Gotcha. Yeah, I've caught some browns out of East Lake. I've haven't caught any browns out of Plina. I've caught only rainbows out of Plina and kokanee. Yeah, both of those lakes are definitely beautiful. Wikiup's the one I've got to fish yet too. I don't think I've ever fished Wikiup. That's another big brown place too. Nothing more than 15 or 16 inches, huh? Wow. Still, that's a beautiful fish. May not be a giant, but it's still a beautiful fish. Is it really going to be a no bite kind of day today? I mean, I'm out here giving it my best frozen popsicle G-Man style, and I haven't even had a sniff yet. And bait's been soaking the whole time. I've caught some big bull trout down on the river. I mean, literally like freaking 15-pound bull trout down on the river. One year down on the river steelhead fishing, we didn't catch anything anything under like 12 pounds for bull trout. Yeah, I want to catch another big carp myself. It's been years since I caught a big carp. I did see one caught last year and the year before, but Alex caught the carp I saw last year. It was a big old carp too. They are beautiful fish, that's for sure. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Woo. Yeah, I'll have to come out to Corvallis and fish sometime. Fish for some carp. And some other fish over there. That'd be something. Not 83, huh? Interesting place, huh? Yeah, definitely have to come out to Corvallis though. Try some fishing out there. That'd be something. Right now, I'm just kind of moving around a little bit because it's cold. Ooh, channel cats. I love me some channel cats. I love to eat me some catfish. I like to catch me some bluegills too. If you watch this channel long enough, you know I like to catch bluegills. Even though they're just these small fish, I definitely like to catch bluegills. I like to eat catfish, channel catfish. I love to catch carp. I've fished McKenzie a few times for stillhead and stuff, but all I ever caught out of McKenzie is trout. Trout. Over the last few years, I've done quite a bit of coastal fishing for stillhead. I haven't had any luck over there on the coast. Oh, by Eugene? Oh, I got you. Willamette, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to think. I'll have to plan a trip over there. Go over there for a couple of days, and different Applegate River. Rockfish on the coast. Well, all I've done is stillhead fish on the coastal rivers. Is usually what I do over there is I go hit the coastal rivers up for chromes. So I'm not actually fishing on the coast. I am fishing on the coast. I'm just fishing the coastal rivers for stillhead usually. First 2 weeks in March for the Applegate, huh? One of these years, I'm gonna take a guide service. One of these years, that's usually against my against what I do, but I seriously want to. I seriously want to take a coastal guide trip for some stillhead on coastal river. Of course, they get all offended whenever you try to record and put stuff on YouTube, though, especially on the coast. But yeah, I definitely would like to take a guided trip one of these years, just to take one. You didn't have a pole on you, huh? But yeah, it would just be cool to kind of do something out of the ordinary. And I know I'm usually not the guided kind of guy. I kind of like to wing it and do that kind of stuff, but I still want to do a guided trip on the Deschutes River. Still want to take a guided trip on the Deschutes River. The the only real benefit I can see about taking a guide trip is to pick their brains, because basically, in my opinion, the guide's only purpose is to give out knowledge. And if they're not willing to give you knowledge and teach you how to fish, then they shouldn't be guiding. I know they're in it for the money. I get that, but I know I fish it every year for steelhead. Every year. I spend a lot of time on that river in September, October, and November. That's the steelhead time of the year on the Deschutes River. And people get mad at me for putting content out steelhead fishing, but you know, it's not hurting anybody to teach people how to fish. So when basically, to me, a guide, their only purpose should be to teach, but that's not how it is. Guides are in it for the money. They're not in it to teach people. They're in it for the money. But if I take a guide service, my assumption is that they're going to teach me something that I don't already know. Teach me more. Six to 8 pounds on average. Northern Oregon, 12 to 15 pounds on average. Big difference, yeah. There is a big difference for sure. Ew, that stunk like sewage. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to take with me on a guide trip, because I kind of would like one of my daughters, with me on that. Come on, fishy, fishy. That's right, Alex. Come on, fishy, fishy. Kind of would like my daughters to go on a fishing trip with me, because they're the old G-Man fans, you know. They were my fishing partners before I was a YouTuber. So kind of would like one of my daughters to go with me, if they could find the time to do it. So I've always dreamed about taking them out on a guided trip just for a day. I think that would be so cool. But of course, they would have to be able to find the time to go, being parents and all. And they're not crazy like me taking their kids out fishing, you know. Another thing that kind of turns me off about the guides is the last time I checked into a guided fishing trip on the Deschutes, it was like $600 for two people. $600 for two people. Cool. Only seen pictures of them, huh? Watch videos, can't spend that kind of money. I know. And that's why I haven't been on a guided trip. Seattle, what's going on? Uh, if you can find them, you can get them to bite, but right now it's like too cold. But I mean, if you're in a boat and you can find, if you can find a school of them, you can get them to bite. That's one thing about crappie, is if you can find them, um, if you can find them, you can get them to bite any time of the year. But the thing is you got to find the right location, the right depth. They're always going to be a suspended fish, it seems like. So if you can find, if you have a boat and you have a good graph, you'll be able to find the crappies. Just the way it is with crappies. I fished for them my whole life, and I've caught them in weather like this, and I've caught them in warm weather. The thing about crappies is, if you know, it's like when I was in Missouri in November, and it was cold. It was in the 30s every day, and below 30s every day. We still caught crappies every day, but we knew where to find them, and we knew where they were. So we were able to find where they were suspended in the depth they were in, and just keep pounding that depth in that area. Because they're a schooling fish, the best time to fish for crappies is usually going to be between late April all the way till the end of September. Usually going to be a good time to catch crappies. And I've got plenty of crappie videos out, so I can watch those videos. You'll have a good idea. I hammer them hard over the summer, the spring and summer, and in the fall before I stop fishing for them. So, because the fall is my steelhead season, I generally stop fishing for the crappies in the fall. So, but from what I understand, in October they were still catching a lot of crappies. So I stopped fishing for them at the middle of September because I started fishing for steelhead. If you want to catch crappies, come out here late April. Fish till the end of September. If you can come down because obviously you're in Seattle because it says Seattle. So if you can come down in April, anytime after April, you should be able to catch crappie. But you got to find them also. They're a suspended fish. You can find them in the shallow, but they're going to be suspended in the shallow. You can find them in the deep, and they're going to be suspended. That's one thing about crappies. You got to find, if you don't have structure, it makes it harder to find them because structure, they like weeds, they like timber, they like big boulders. So when you come down and you're going to fish them, either Ochoco's, Prineville Reservoir, if you can find the banks and you find the brush that's going into the water from the bank, hit those areas. They're going to be suspended in all that brush and stuff. You'll have a lot easier time catching crappie. I mean, if you can find brush piles this time of year, you can catch them no problem. It's just harder too because the water levels are usually low. Because when I was at Prineville Saturday, it was pretty low. But that's because it's an irrigation lake or reservoir. And then the same thing with the Ochoco Reservoir. It's an irrigation place or lake. So the waters don't stay the same all. If the water stayed the same all year round, it'd be a lot easier to find the fish. See, that's the thing about when I was in Missouri, was the waters don't fluctuate as much because they're not pumping water out for irrigation like they are in Oregon. So it makes it easier to find the crappies as long as you've got somebody who knows where to fish for them all year round. So, the best thing you can do is find structure, find the suspended fish, because that's what crappies are. They're suspended fish. They're not going to be on the bottom, and a lot of times they're not going to be on the surface. They're going to be suspended. So if you can find structure that they can suspend in, you're going to catch a lot of crappies. Ask Alex, he was there a lot of times. I even done a wading video because I wanted to catch crappies, and it was going to give me the advantage on catching crappie. So I put out a couple wading videos on crappies during the early fall before it got cold, and it was still warm enough to catch them. So, but yeah, check out the crappie videos. It'll help you out, I hope. And hopefully you'll find a lot more crappies when you come to Central Oregon to crappie fish. So I used a lot of gulp minnows to catch the crappies. I used micro neds.